closing bell for week ending 9th of November. Let me just say I'd like to wish a happy Deepavali week next week. As a matter of fact, next Tuesday, as I said before, on our Friday chart clinic, we have 2 public holiday for the week of beginning 12th of November. So a lot of people are taking leave. If you are taking leave for 3 days, you get 9 days off, including the weekends. So that's a good deal. So you can see there will be definitely less people in Kuala Lumpur, and I do know places like Malacca and Penang would be full of people going over there for the long weekend. Am I agreed or not? For those of you who is staying in Malacca and in Penang, you will definitely notice a tremendous amount of traffic built up in Penang. I still remember on the long weekend for one of the I think Merdeka Day, I was up in Penang. You could see everyone played, in Penang is in KL. Would you all agree? Do you agree or disagree when it's come to a long weekend? Yes, that's right. Yeah, Chris. Chris, are you from Penang, Chris? Right. Yes, that's right. So for the Penang night, I hope you come down to KL and do a bit of shopping, and it'll be very quiet. Okay. All right, then we're going to start now. Okay. So that's the condition that we have. Everything you see on the screen here is all red. But however, the story tells different. Our market have recovered as of the last 2 days. But let me just debrief what we saw last Friday. Okay, let me just blow this up a bit. Refresh this again. Okay, last Friday we were somewhere around here. Okay, let me just move this. Okay, last Friday we were. Okay, let me just get this screen correctly first. Okay, let me just. Okay, last Friday we were somewhere around here when we saw this wide range bar. That's what I said. It is likely that the market would intend to break down rather than break up here. Apologize for this. I have to refresh this to just get it right. Just got to do with the memory. So the breakdown of the wide range bar likely to continue, and we've seen it so far. Well, are there any evidence to suggest that next week we will move in the sideways market? It's very difficult to tell because next week we're going to have 3 trading days instead of the 5. So what's going to happen is what's happening in US is important, which I will get to it likely. And also last week we did talk about the market might move sideways, and we did the last 2 bar with the bias on the downside. Now on the other hand, the FBM 70, let me just show you the FBM 70 here. You can see that you have 3 down bar and you have a support at 12,250 level there. So we haven't really seen the support or the base yet. In this case for the KLCI, I would say if you have to put a guess, it would be somewhere around 16, 15, 16, 10. It may go to that. Now remember some time back ago I did talk about the correction for the US market. Now for the correction for the US market, we're talking something between the 20%. Now at 1675, if we do have a correction, 1675 times 8, our market might just correct back to 13,040, which is this level here, where we were sometime last November when we have the Greek sell-off. Now, well, just a word of caution, just be prepared for that. If the opposition, in this case, takes the federal Putrajaya government, then we might see a correction as much as 20% correction up to 13,500 level. I'm not kidding. This is how far you drop. So this will be a good time to be really picking up to buy some of the good stocks in here. So that's what we have to stay vigilant and look at the market for what it is. Although the valuation, what we have seen so far from our CI is about PE is around 15. I do believe I've shown you this before, but I don't mind showing you again. This is a price volume. Let's go back again. This is a 17 times. Okay, a 5-year trend here we are looking at. This, by the way, is available for our premium members in there. you can actually log in and take a look at that under the members menu in here. This is the PE. As you can see, the PE has definitely for our KLCI market definitely have moved lower, right, as well. But for the Singapore market, that has definitely since the beginning of the PE valuation for the Singapore market, in this case the orange one, has moved higher. So our market has pretty much stayed sideways. I think they are already pricing a lot of the uncertainty in our market with the possible of opposition winning the election in here. Okay, that's what I've been talking for the last 5 minutes here. Okay, so that's for the now. What I want to do now is just to go over to the foreign funds here. Now, one thing, foreign funds, as you can see on a shorter scale here, you can see foreign funds was let's go back to here again. You can see they were selling only 2 days on the, I believe, on Monday and Tuesday, and since then they've been buying back. So they have been really supporting this market in here. So we didn't see a huge sell-off in here. A lot has been said about the US physical cliff. I think Bill talked about it today on the Friday chart clinic. You can listen to his comment, a very short comment. But basically what he says, officially beginning 1st of January, the US market, one of the largest economic market, will fall into recession. That's it, because you have overnight tax been increased and budget been cut. So all these things has a strong implication on the world financial system. But I do believe this will be avoided in the last minute, where the Republican has been arm twisted to agree with the Democrat, which is currently run by the President Obama level in here. So you can see really foreign funds right now. I just want to pay a notice in here. I have a new chart in here that actually looks into the accumulation of the foreign funds buying, which is very interesting. With the exception of sometime the first month of June, and subsequently you have seen the since June, foreign funds has really been accumulating buying, almost up. Net buying today is about 13 trillion ringgit. Now, if you count day by day, this is how I calculate it. So you can see foreign funds really been accumulating, and that's what like what Pong say on our last week update. As long as the foreign funds is buying, our market will have some sort of support. Now that's always going to depend on the likely pending results. I believe the general election would come in sometime next year, March. So we still have about 5 months more to the election. So everything is still on the plate. Okay. On the what we have seen in the VSA chart here for KLC market, you've seen there are 2 weakness in here. Typically is a breaking of the ice. Today we have a chart that pokes back up in here, holding up at 13,040. For the Singapore market, it actually break and tested the 3,000 level in here so far. Okay, so the that's a foreign fund. By the way, just to let you know, next week I'll be away for my vacation from the 11th to the 20th of November. So there will be very limited update on the website. So do take note of that. I've talked about it last week. So that I'll be away for a holiday. Okay. Now, next thing I want to do now is to go to the wicks. Okay, wicks. Now, for those of you who don't know what is wicks, wick is basically the measure of volatility on the US Dow Jones. In this case will be the S&P 500. How we look at that is the numbers, the indicator numbers. Now the low numbers is the number that we wanted to know. Every time when the number hit the 15 level in here, as you can see here highlighted, this is where we would see the market really going into a very what we call a very complacent market environment in here. So that's what I don't like the market when it's hitting around the 14 or the 15 level in here. So on the flip side, if the market is very bearish, like what we see in a sell-off in here, then we would see the market hitting up the 18 and 20 level in here. A preferable level would be definitely is the 23 4520 level in here. When the market hits, like last year June, when we hit the crisis, remember, if you all remember the Greek crisis, market hit the 45. The worst we ever got was around 60. So when you see the high numbers of the wicks, in this case I prefer around 20 to 25. That's a good level to be actually buying. Okay, so around 20, market can still fall some more, for that matter. Okay, so at this number I'm pretty much neutral. It can be either going up or going down, but I just want to show you next thing on my chart is the US Dow Jones, which I would go into in a minute. Any questions so far? Okay, any questions so far you all have? If you have any questions, just let me know. This is with the VIX market in here. Typically it might just gravitate back around 20. Okay, now going back to the US Dow Jones here, let me just go back to here. I will talk a bit about also on the gold side. Now we can see today I've shown you the chart. Okay, where can we check the foreign funds ourselves? Is it available in Bursa? Apparently not. It is only available, David, only on the Star newspaper. Okay, if it's on the Star newspaper, if I have a copy here, let me just show you how it looks like. I think I close it. Yeah, it's available on the Star. The key thing is you have to keep a track of this, like what I do every day. Okay, like you can see the Excel. So I have an Excel spreadsheet, and you have to be very, very disciplined, like a fund manager like me or investment manager, to keep track of the foreign funds. That's why, things that is free, they tend to be, either not so good to use, or if they're expensive. But what I do is I keep track of it, and I try to make some sense out of it, like building this accumulation of foreign funds buying to actually give me what's actually happening to the market. Is this okay, David? Okay. By the way, David, what do you do, David? I forgot. I remember you told me some. What do you do for a living, David? Oh, IT. Okay, yep. I can understand why. Okay, good. Let's move on. Next one that we have here is the yes, I was going to talk about the Dow Jones. Now the US Dow Jones, you have to see now it has broken down below the 200-day moving average in here. So the market is going to try to break back up. You still have the resistance in here. On the downside, you can see this is still going on a very nice downtrend in here. It will definitely test the 12,600 level in here. If you look at the scheme of things, 13,600, a 20% fall from there. Okay, so 0.8 times 13,600, you're talking about 10,000 level, another 200 points drop here. I know it's horrible to even think about that, which is 10,800. That's the level in here, which is almost same as June last year. A 20% drop in here. Now, like it or not, a lot of people say Malaysia are immune to the thing, but from historically and volatility correlation that we have seen so far, KL will follow Dow Jones. It's just a matter of time only, like what we saw back in 1999. Right? So you can see this is the first phase where the market hit. So what we like to see is something like here, when the market broke through the 200 moving average, you might have a little doji, probably around 12,700. I have not seen it yet, but if you draw your chart right, you probably have this. Let me just draw this again, here and here. Okay, 12,700. That's the level I want to see, either a low volume or ultra high volume, when some sort of agreement has been made to resolve the US physical cliff, and then you'll see a rebound around 12,700. This level in here. That's the level I like to see. Okay. Alright, let's move on. On the Hang Seng side, now Hang Seng was very interesting. It did break up from the 200 moving average. It's about 10% currently. About 200 moving average is 2,220. You got 2,200. Okay, about 2,000 points, which is about 10% away from the 200 moving average. It has done very well in anticipation of the US market here. Sorry, of the Shanghai market that we have seen so far here. Still moving sideways, hasn't gone very much in yet. Now this will move a bit more in here because of the changeover of the China